Hello everybody. Today I'm going to present about the journey of Marco Polo. So the first thing is who is Marco Polo? So Marco Polo was born in 15 September 1254 in Venice in the country of Italy. So Marco Polo is a merchant and a traveler, and he explored in Europe to Asia on the Silk Road, spending 17 years in China during the Mongol Empire under Kublai Khan. So the journey of Marco Polo. So Marco Polo in until 70 years old, he was very lonely and have nothing to do in Venice until his father showed up with his uncle and invited him to travel to Asia, and Marco Polo was excited about that. So Marco Polo left his mom in Venice and traveled with his father to Asia. So, 1271, he went with his father to Asia until 1275, reaching the Mongol Empire. And in the Mongol Empire, the leader of that place was Kublai Khan, and he spent 17 years in China and experiencing a lot of things in that place. And the second thing is who is Kublai Khan? So Kublai Khan was a Mongol general and statesman who became the first emperor of China, the Yuan dynasty. So how did he get to the Mongol empire, the emperor position? He when his father died in, in China, Kublai Khan and his brothers fought for his father's throne to become the emperor of the Mongol Empire and successful enough to achieve the emperor position. Even though his brothers have to die for the emperor position, but he didn't care about that. He cared about the position that he achieved from that battle. And the second thing is who is Niccolo Polo? So Niccolo Polo is the father of Marco Polo, and he also was a merchant and a traveler who traveled alongside Marco Polo to Asia. And the second thing is was the Silk Road. So a Silk Road was a single road but vast variety caravan and maritime trade routes connecting Asia, the Mediterranean, and the North Africa, and sells many things uh, like spices, technology, and silk, precious metals, and other things in in the Silk Road that can be sold in that place. Now, how Marco Polo met his wife. So, when he returned to Venice, he was captured in Genoese prison after that, he was released from that prison and then met Donata Baudelaire, and then he married her and having three children with both Donata Bodia. And the next thing is how did Marco Polo got back to Venice? So Marco Polo was born in China and wanted to go home to his place, and he made Kublai Khan to ask permission to go home, and Kublai Khan was reluctant because he didn't want Marco Polo to go back to Venice because he wanted to hear more stories about Marco Polo. But at the end, Marco Polo, not Kublai Khan, gave permission to Marco Polo to go back to Venice, but for only 6 months. After that, Marco Polo, with his boat, traveled to China until Europe, and it took around 3 or 4 years, if I remember, to Marco Polo come back to Venice. And then, when he was traveling to Venice, he heard news that Kublai Khan was dead, and he was happy because he didn't have to come back to China and can stay in Venice. So, while in a long time, he come back to Venice and married Donata Bodea. And that's all for my presentation about Marco Polo. Thank you for listening for my presentation. Sorry if I made few mistakes in my presentation. Thank you.
Okay. Few questions first. The topic is about the journey of Marco Polo, right?
Yes.
But the journey itself lacks some details, in my opinion. Can you describe to me further what is the journey of Marco Polo? What exactly did he see? Did he discover during the time when he was traveling?
Okay. So when he arrived in China,
Before that, when he was traveling to China.
or when he was traveling to China. So when he was traveling in China with his father, he go to the Silk Road, went to the Silk Road and saw a lot of new things that he haven't seen in Europe, like spices, coal, oil, and other things that China sells in that place or other places. And then when he arrived in China, he met Kublai Khan, and he tells stories to Kublai Khan, and Kublai Khan was fascinated about that story and keep Marco Polo to stay in China. While he was in China, he saw lots of people use oil to burn things longer.
Okay, before that, what was in his stories that could impress the great emperor Kublai Khan? What exactly did he tell?
If I remember, Marco Polo tells about Europe and his home place to Kublai Khan, and he tells about his childhood, maybe, or the lot of new things in Venice that Kublai Khan don't know about. So that's why Kublai Khan was fascinated about that story.
You mentioned that in the Silk Road he discovered oil and coal and so many other stuff, right? But in China, I want to ask you, China specifically, what exactly did he discover?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. In China, what did he learn?
Oh, so in China there was coal, and the coal was made to firecrackers. And Marco Polo saw the firecracker, he was fascinated because the firecracker makes a lot of loud sounds and explodes when the people use the firecracker. So he was fascinated about that and learned a lot of things about that firecracker. If I
Oh, so in China he found about the existence of not whole, I would say, firecrackers, gunpowder.
maybe I think yes, gunpowder.
Is it only gunpowder?
No, not only gunpowder. I remember.
They go again.
Like what? Yeah. Wait, let me think first. If not gunpowder, and the shape of the firecracker and how did they use it?
The what?
How do how did they use it?
But how, what is it again? Sorry, before that?
Before what?
How did they use it? It what?
It
What is it?
the firecracker.
The firecracker. Oh, okay. And then he wrote a book, right?
Yes.
When exactly did he write the book?
So when he come back to Venice, maybe around 1275, if
1275.
maybe, if I
Okay.
remember. And then he tells his stories about China, but even though people don't believe it, but still it became popular somehow, and he became rich in Venice.
So 75 was when he started the journey, so no, but it's okay. Why did people that didn't believe his stories?
Be- because the people didn't believe the story because it was hard to believe and impossible without any like proof that it was real.
Like, why is it so unbelievable? What is the quote unquote impossible part of his stories?
Because uh, if oil, people don't did in Europe don't know about oil and don't know how to find oil, so people didn't believe there's oil in that place.
Okay. Why is it something so? What is it? Why is it something so
Easy.
magical quote unquote, that people just believe oil exists? What?
Because they never seen about what is oil and what it looks like. And people in Europe, people don't use oil. They use like what? Yeah, the name. Maybe wood. Yeah,
Would only.
and wood and other stuff to burn things, and takes not long. But oil takes a longer time to finish than wood and other things.
Okay. And at the end of his journey, his doctor said to him for him to admit that his journey was fake, that he made it all up. And then Marco Polo said something like, I haven't even told half of what I saw to you guys, right? What is the reason for him to not even tell everything that he saw?
If my thought is that Marco Polo was sad because people don't believe him about the stories, and about his stories in China, so that's why he probably tells the half of the story, so people believe it believe it for a longer time, because if he tell the story for the all story, maybe people don't comprehend about that story and too lazy to read it, maybe.
Okay. Alright, that's it. Thank you.
Yes.